Welcome to Real Talk with Elisha. My name is Elisha, and I always start my show by saying I am not a therapist. I do the show because it's therapy for me, and hopefully, what I do helps someone along the way. And what I'm doing is, when I do this, is to really try my best to let everyone know about things that happens in our lives and know that you're not alone dealing with certain things that we deal with, you know. I'm sorry that I started late. I've been having technical difficulties. My mic wasn't working on one laptop and I had to switch, and it's a whole bunch of stuff. When I tell you my days in the past week has been really tough, I mean, really tough. And I know everybody go through their situations, their problems, and everybody got their own issues. That's what I'm here to talk about, because we as people don't talk about things that we all go through on a daily basis. And I understand that in our lives we try to, I'm not going to say pretend, but put on a facade that we're okay. And it's okay to say we're not okay, and this is what I am doing this show for, is because I do the show. Like I said, I've been started this show since 2011, if anyone didn't know. And when I started, it was like a journal, so I could always go back and listen to my shows and then see how I grew from since 2011. And when I tell you this is why I do it, it's because it is a growing, healing process in life. And when I do this show is to try to always let someone know that you're not alone dealing with certain, situations out there by yourself. You are here to do the best you can. Your mental should be your number one priority, right? Because in life, that's what we deal with. So tonight, when I wanted to talk about, I didn't put a really title on it because I talk about life experiences lately, just because I want everyone to understand this is an everyday life thing. Our life experiences, people don't understand how much we go through in our lives. And people really don't know how hard it is to be dealing with your life situations on your own. A lot of people also, I notice, really do a lot of things to please people. And then they do a lot of things for views. And I don't, let me explain something to you. I don't do this show for views. Okay. I don't do this show. I don't even get paid for what I do. Okay. I do this because one day I was feeling alone, dealing with my situations that I was dealing with. And I didn't have anybody to sit back and explain to them, or have someone to help me feel, how can I say it? I didn't have anyone that can relate to me because I didn't want people to know my feelings of going through a breakup, or feeling down and out, or dealing with depression, or dealing with my trauma. So I didn't want anybody to know. So I was in that type of state of mind. But when I started really facing these things alone in my life, I made this podcast, not this one because this is video, in 2011. And I just wanted to let people know that you're not alone dealing with your situations, or whatever situations you have. I wanted people to know that I feel you, I hear you, I understand how you feel. So I want people to know that it's someone here. And I just wanted to make sure and let people understand that specific thing. So in my life experiences in the last years of becoming this person that I am today, when I tell you, it's the most exhilarating feeling I have ever had. And I try my best to do what I can, you know. Um, I do what I can as much as I can, and to help people if I can along the way. You know, I don't want people to think that they're facing their situations on their own like that. There's too much going on in this world that we don't get to support people. And there's a lot of us losing that. And that's another thing that, you know, I did a show the other day, and I am not trying to do a show or this show for views. I'm not trying to be out here trying to be somebody different. I'm trying to also practice what I preach, because I don't want to be one of these people out here, you know, pretending to be somebody I'm not. You know what I mean? And I'm trying my best to be as be as real as I can be with people, because I know how it feels to be hurt. I know how it is to feel abandoned. I know how it is to feel betrayed, lied to. So when I reach out to people, I try my best to really help them, you know, and I don't like to sit here and pretend to be somebody I'm not, because that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be as real as I can be and let people understand that you have somebody here. And if you ever going through something that I speak about, feel free to DM me. And if you don't want to do it on the chat room, it's fine. And I just want people to understand that I'm trying to not make a point, but I'm trying to be here to let people understand that I don't do this for views. I don't do this to get somebody to like me. I don't do this to any type of clout. Is that the hip word now these days? Anyway, um, recently my week has been very interesting. My son's birthday is coming up, um, and it's been a really rough week. You know, lately we have been. I think I've been getting being put to a test, and I think all of us we get put to a test, right? And I'm sorry, and when we do, is I think is for us to decide which way we want to go. Do we want to go ahead and keep feeding into the negativity, or do we want to, you know, be positive about everything that happens to us? I noticed in my past couple of experiences in my life in the last few weeks and few days now, um, the way people I've noticed, right, is, and I think I said this last week, I am an emotional person. I'm going to admit it. Yes, I am. And someone also told me once that in a previous two shows and another show I'm in, said that I was a very emotional person. And I understand that. And I'm not knocking it, you know, because I am. And the person was right. But the thing I took out of that, see, I took it negative at the first time, but when I processed it, and I'm like, you know what? I am an emotional person, because I don't think people understand the level of how much I can relate to what you're going through. Like, my energy level has gotten so high right now that when I tell you I can't be around the drama, I can't be around the confrontations, that I don't want to. I can't say I can't. I don't want to. I choose not to be in that. And lately it's like I'm wrong if I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I was so much of pleasing people in my life, right? And I'm at that point now that my energy shifted. I'm telling you, my energy shifted in the last few months. And when I tell you, my patience for negativity has gotten real thin. Like I really cannot um I'm not gonna say cannot. Let me word this differently. I don't like when I hear people talk negative, right? So when I hear people talk negative, I try my best to let them see the positive in whatever they're dealing with. Because see, if we don't do that, then we're always going to be negative. And see, that brings your depression and that brings other things to you that people don't understand. You get what I'm saying? So I am at that point when I'm trying to I try to practice what I preach. So everything I'm telling you is because of my life experiences. I don't have to have a degree to explain none of this stuff to you because I know a lot of people with degrees and they really think that just because they have degrees, they know more than I do. And I'm not saying I don't have a degree. I went to college. I just never finished, and no, I don't have a degree in from college. So to me, I don't take it personal, but it's the way these people really portray themselves, like they better than you. And when I say that they because you have a degree in, let's say, psychology, that doesn't mean you know exactly how people are. You get what I'm saying? I think people that went through life experiences actually can pinpoint a person and their energy more than someone that just had well, I know I'm about to get a lot of flack for this one because I know a lot of psychologists is probably gonna be like, no, she didn't. But reality is, I'm gonna say some. Let me rephrase that too, because yes, I did say psychologist if you have a degree in psychology, but I was just making a reference. Let me clear that up also. So, because you gotta watch what you say on social media these days because it's like people will attack you. And like real talk, when I tell you it's crazy. So I'm cleaning up what I just said. I said some psychologies, some psychologists do act like because they have a degree, they know more than a person that has life experiences. Okay. Um, that was a reference. I was not saying that all people are like that. Let's clear that up too. I'm saying is people think that if you have a degree, you know more than somebody else, than the person that has life experiences. What I'm saying is life experiences teaches you a lot more than someone that's reading something from a book. And 9 out of 10, that book is not up to date. That book is probably 5, 6 years ago. And I could be wrong. Don't quote me. And don't bash me on here because I know it's a lot of people that do it. Because yesterday, when I was on a show, yesterday. And when I tell you they attack, they attack. Okay. So that's why I'm choosing and trying to choose my words correctly. I'm trying to make sure I word things right. And I'm trying to clear up what I say because I've learned a lot. When you're on social media these days now, it's like they really attack you and they're really bullies. It's a lot of people out here that really hate on you, you know. And the last week I was talking about how people hate my spirit. And when I tell you now that my energy is getting higher, I think they're not gonna like me even more. But that's okay because I'm high with that. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if you don't think about your mental and yourself, you're going to always keep worrying about people and you're always going to worry about catering to them. I have catered to people all my life. And when I tell you I'm at that point where I just want to worry about Elisha, that's what I'm doing right now. Like my energy with people right now and their negativity, I just can't deal with. I cannot, my peace. I've been searching for this so long of being the oldest of 10, of being a mom, of trying to find yourself. And when you, as a person, really don't take time for yourself, it's a lot can happen to you. And people really don't understand that when people go through these things and life experiences, they do this for a reason. They I know I do. Like I said at the beginning, I feel people pain when they speak. I feel, especially if they're talking about a situation they go through, or they're feeling, or how they're doing, or how they, whatever they're dealing with. I feel it because I may be able to relate. And I've been catering to people so long that at this time, I'm catering to myself. And all I ever wanted was somebody to just reciprocate that to me. Now that I'm at the point where my energy level is rising, and when I tell you, like, I really tonight I almost didn't do my show. I really almost didn't do my show. I am still battling my depression. I'm still battling a lot of personal things, and I did not say it will cure overnight. Things don't happen overnight. People don't understand that. And whoever is listening to my show could use whatever you want to use against me, because lately people do that. When people when people are not happy with themselves, they would take other people that's moving up, or their energy is great and their spirit is awesome. They take that person and try to break that person down because they want them down on that level. So I am at that point now that I'm trying to, not trying, I'm actually understanding how to approach them now, because before, when people come at me like that, I would be like, what? And I will attack because I will be defensive about it. Now I'm more of, I'm going to process it, and then I'm going to come back. Or if it's happening right in front of me, I will pause for a second. I will try to understand, and then I will give an answer. But sometimes 9 out of 10 now, the way people is always about drama, my drama level is not even, I will shut down. I'm not even going to reply to people that bickers and wants to bring me down. So at this point, I would actually either say, you got it, or you're right. And no matter if they wrong or they right, I'm just going to say they're right, because I'm at the point where I just don't feel like I should, or anyone, if you're going through this, you should not have to deal with this type of things people do to you. I really don't think you should. And a lot of us, when our spirits are down, especially when we're going through therapy like this, when we're going through it, it's really hard. And I'm sorry, guys. It's really hard to be able to be yourself when people trying to bring you down. And guess what's happening here also that I've noticed in the last week with me? People, and I said this last week on my show, I notice the more I am changing and the more I am being who I am feeling more, how can I say, good. I feel more good about who I am. You know what I mean? I was on a show last night, and I'm bringing that up. Oh, matter of fact, let me tell you, I am on a show called Gag Order, The Gag Order, and it's on Facebook. We go Facebook Live on 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The show was very interesting, and like I said at the beginning of the show, I don't do this for views. I don't do this. I don't even get paid for what I do. I do this because, like I said, I think there are people out here who feels alone, and whatever I'm talking about, I think you can relate. I'm trying to help because I know how it feels to be facing things on your own. So if the subject I'm talking about tonight helps someone, then great. If you want to talk about it, hit me up on the DMs. Let me know how you feel. Let me know that if it's anything I could help with words, because I'm telling you, that's what I offer. I offer words, and I try to practice what I preach. And I'm not perfect. I have a lot riding on who I am. If you understand what I'm saying, I have my children to think about. I have my grandkids that's looking at me. So I can't sit up here and say, and be a hypocrite and say, okay, you know what? No, I don't want to do that, but then I'm doing this. You know what I mean? So when I do this show, and anything I say on the show, like I said, people use against you, you could go right ahead and use it. Because I know deep down inside, if you're using anything against me, is you're not happy with yourself and you just want to bring me down. And guess what? I have been so down to the bottom of the barrel, or the bottle as you call it, where at this point now that my energy has shifted to know that I can handle that, I feel actually great. And being on the show last night and these few nights has really taught me a lot about people and how people really do things just for views and just for clout and just to bash people and make them look bad and think that ratings, when you do that, the ratings go up. I'm not on here to bash anybody. I don't want to be that type of person to get ratings, to bash someone to get ratings. I'm not that type. The show was really good last night. It was about red flags. I had a lot to say about red flags last night, and I will talk about that on another show because I've learned a lot about red flags, a lot. And when I tell you, it's been an eye opener since I've been in therapy. It's been the most incredible feeling to understand and process the when you take a minute and process what you really want out of your life, then you can understand everything I'm trying to tell you. Like, my therapist asked me, what is my perspective of where I want to be in my life, right? Or what I want to do. And when you write that down on paper, it does make it look way different how you see it in your head. And people don't understand that if you do that, you'll be surprised what you could find out about yourself. And it's amazing to me. I like to help people, okay? And when I say when I don't like confrontation. So it's like I shut down and I really don't try to be in it. And I don't try, unless it's coming at me. Now, I don't try to bring out the old Elisha. And a lot of people wants that because they think that would get the views, that would get this. You don't see, I have this thing. If you be yourself, good things come to you, right? You be kind to people, good things come to you. You be real and honest, good things come to you. I've learned that in my life experiences because I've noticed when I was a certain way of being fake and doing all this. Of course, everybody have done this when I was in my 20s. You notice you had a lifestyle that was a way different. Okay. And the older you get from your life experiences, you find out that a lot about yourself. And especially if you're doing therapy and you start writing this stuff down, oh my God, it's the most eye-opening thing I have ever witnessed. Okay. And I want people to understand why I'm doing this. I'm really not doing this show for any type of views. Like right now, I have no one watching my show. I have nobody in my comments. But you know what? Somebody will listen and somebody may comment and somebody may like what I do. And maybe I might help someone along the way by my words explaining to you that you don't have to please everybody just to, or change who you are just to get views, or be in a drama just to do that, just to get people attention. You don't have to be ignorant and an asshole and degrade people just to get your point across. And a lot of us do that. Not me. I try not to. And when I say try, is I've come a long way. I've come a long way. And I was brought up not to actually judge people and not to make it seem like people are this worst thing on earth. I have been through so much in my life, right? In my life experiences, I've learned that so many times I wanted to give up. And I've learned that you can't. You can't give up. It's like, I know the world feels like it's back, you're back against the wall and so much pain and so much stuff is coming at you. But you got to keep going. That's why I do that no one told you today. I started this no one told you today because I always looked in the mirror and no one ever told me, hey, you got this. Hey, I'm proud of you. Hey, you should get up and you should do what you need to do. Hey, don't look at this in this bad way because this is happening to you bad. Think of it as maybe it's God's way of telling you this is not right for you. I started that no one told you today because of those things, and I started that to really help other people know is if no one is doing that for you, I'm doing that for you. I'm telling you, you are enough. A lot of us don't get that. A lot of us don't get you're amazing. A lot of us don't get that I thank you for who you are. Half of us don't get, hey, I appreciate you. Hey, you know what? You're wonderful. You are an amazing person. And not just sexually. I mean, like, people always think things is always got to be sexual. And to be honest, life is way more than this, that. And we really don't understand how much just having a conversation with somebody really helps, and being positive and being there and being supportive and understanding them and not being fake about it, not being fake to use that person and not being there to, make them look bad for you to feel better. I can't listen. I cannot for the world do that to somebody because people have done that to me so many times in my life that I cannot fathom hurting somebody like that. And I have hurt people in my life. Don't get it twisted now. I was young. Yes, I'm up there in my age, but I don't want people to think that is it, Okay, so I had a lot to say. My life experiences has been very lifing. And whose life hasn't been lifing? I think everybody in their life go through things, right? And like when I found out why I used to drink so much was to numb my pain and my hurt and my traumas, right? And when I found out these things and I started doing what my therapist told me to do, my drinking has lessened to the minimum of peach Bellinis, the Seagram's peach Bellinis. And when I tell you I used to drink like crazy, because I'm an islander, I'm from Trinidad, and we could drink. But when I found out all that drinking was because I had a trauma and I was dealing with a lot of things, which I still am today. I am not a whole 100% cured. But I do my best to try to share my knowledge of my life experiences with others. And I try to lead by that example so I could show people that you can do this. And I'm not saying just people here, okay? I'm talking about, I'm trying to start with my children. And I want my children to follow suit and help their children because I have grandkids too. And if I don't start leading by example and practicing what I'm preaching, how can I try to change people perspective, my family perspective? I ain't gonna say people at this point. Change my family's perspective of seeing that you need to take care of you first. You need to heal from you first. You need to heal and be able to function up here and understand that is more to life than bringing people down judging them, hurting them, you know, playing with their feelings and their emotions. And it's so much going on in this world that, yo, when I tell you, I try my best to make sure my kids don't follow this negativity in this world and don't be one of these people that people do these things to me. I don't want them to do that with others. And I'm really trying to be the best version of myself so people could see that, hey, you are awesome. So I just wanted to share these things with you guys tonight. And let me clarify again what I said earlier about psychologists. You guys are not bad. What I was just doing was sharing a reference of some people really think because you have a degree, you don't know anything. And I just really, really wanted to clarify that what I said earlier. That is because of my experience with these type of people is why I said that. And I'm not saying all psychologists are like that. I'm just was bringing a reference, and I'm gonna say it again. I was just bringing a reference to show that people really try to undermine other people because they don't have a degree. I was just giving an example. So, in saying all that, I hope I usually stay for like an hour, but today I'm really not feeling well and I'm going through it. Like I said, I had a rough week. I had a rough day yesterday, and then I did a show last night, which by the way is called The Gag Order. And tell me what you think about it. Go to The Gag Order on Facebook, and I think it's on YouTube also. And you could check it out yourself. And like last night's show was very eye opening. So check it out. I'll see you guys on next week, Wednesday. And like I said, I am only here to try to share my life experiences and let you guys know you're not alone out here facing stuff in the world. So I just want to say good night. I am not doing a whole show tonight. I don't feel really up to it. And like I said, I try to do what I have to do. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. Know that no matter what negative things or whatever you're going through in your life, just know that look at the positive things out of it. Because at the end of the day, it's happening for a reason. Everything that we go through, good or bad, is for a reason. And it's not, and it is a test because we are going to get caught up into the emotions and why this is happening to me. But really and truly, try your best to understand, look at the positive out of it. I know that's hard, and it's better said than done. So I just want everybody to have a great night, a great week, and I'll see you guys next week, Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And check out The Gag Order on Tuesdays, 9:30 p.m. on Tuesday night on Facebook and on YouTube, I think. Okay? So I'll see you guys next week. Please have a wonderful, wonderful week.